How you doing, guys? This topic's going to be on electronic devices on the use on airplanes. Now, I've seen this come in the news recently in the tech news twice already. Supposedly, the FAA is considering relaxing the use of some of these devices. I think on some airlines, you just got to turn it off when you're taking off or you're landing. Once you're in the air at cruising altitude, I think you're allowed to use it. Now, this is really a hot topic. Of course, portable devices are really getting popular with cell phones, tablets. Of course, DVD players is even before we had the tablet boom and all that. Now, it is a proven fact that such devices can and do affect avionic equipment. Could be a variety of things. Could be for navigation, GPS, and so on. And that is a proven fact. Now, some of the older airplanes don't have shielding. Now, the shielding is basically some kind of metal mesh that covers the instruments that prevents such electrical disturbances from affecting the avionics. And it's basically kind of a modified Faraday cage, which is, think of the metal screen mesh you see on screen doors, and you can actually build a Faraday cage box, and you could actually go inside this box and turn on your cell phone, and you won't get any service because that metal mesh actually blocks the interference. And then once you go outside that Faraday cage, you get reception. Now, so that's kind of how the shielding works. Now, all newer planes employ this shielding, but it can still be affected in several different ways. For one reason, you can't really test every single electronic device out there, and there's new one coming out all the time. It could be from cell phones to tablets, DVD players, it could be MP3, iPods, or whatever. Now, and then, of course, the airline industry is always coming out with new things as well, so you can't test it in every case. And there's some proponents saying, well, a lot of people been using them during the whole time, don't turn it off, hasn't been a problem. And I think there has been some kind of survey saying that 1/3 of people do this. Now, while of course we haven't seen problems yet, there has been reports because pilots and air crew can actually make reports. I forgot what database they put these things down in, but there have been reports of certain devices they suspect cause interference with their aircraft equipments, and noticeably GPS, which is used more and more on airplanes, obviously to show what location they are in the sky. It allows airplanes actually to go closer together because it's so accurate within so many feet. And now there was even one report where a DVD player was reported to knock off the navigation by as much as 30 degrees. The flight tower actually called the airplane and said, "You're 30 degrees off course." And of course, their instruments were showing fine. So they found out there was a DVD player, somebody was running that, a portable one. So they had them turn it off, and the navigation was showing, it was off by 30 degrees. And the pilot even asked, the air crew actually ask them to turn it back on again. And then they were getting the same problem. So it was repeatable, showing that it was more than likely that was affecting the airplane. And a lot of proponents as well saying, well, all devices got to comply with the FCC. I think it's like Article 15 or something like that, where it says it can't be the electrical interference can't be above a certain limit where it would interfere with other devices. That's all fine and dandy, but FCC rules don't necessarily comply with FAA regulations, which are often more strict because you're in an aircraft. Because when you're about 30,000 feet and gravity working against you, not a lot of places you can go if a lot of more things to go wrong. So avionics systems are often more sensitive to such electrical disturbances, EMF or EFI, or I forgot what the EFMP or whatever you call it, the electrical disturbances. So I'm still against, using such devices all the time. Obviously, it's best to turn them off taking off and landing. Now, some also say, of course, we're seeing a big trend toward using the iPads, the pilots, because they're putting all their flight manuals. They're required to bring all the flight manuals with them, which is about 40 pounds. They're not light. So the use of these iPads, they can put everything on electronically. It's a lot easier and lighter to carry. Now they're saying, well, the pilots are bringing these on board and using them, yes, and that needs to be tested out as well. And I think also they turn off Wi-Fi and cellular signals from this device as well in off-flight mode, I think. So, and yes, that kind of does need to be tested as well. So tell me, you guys, what you think. I mean, should you be allowed using your electronic devices at all times, or should there still be a ban on this, or what?